The Apostle Paul said that we should become all things to all men. So how do we do that? In a way that doesn't cause us to compromise our own convictions. For example, one person asked me, what if I have to go to a Buddhist funeral? Well, I want to show respect to the other person and to their views, but at the same time I don't want to do something that is going to offend God, that's going to be inconsistent with my own convictions. So where do you draw the line? Well, Paul said, I become all things to all men in order that by some means I can win, or rather by all means I might win some. So the point there is, and he goes on to describe, I'm to a Jew, though not under the law, I came under the law or acted under the law, to the Gentiles the opposite. And so he tried to adapt as much as he could, and here's the key, to the social norms of the group. That is, he tried to adapt or blend in or look as much like the social group that he was trying to reach as possible. But when it came to issues of morality, that's where he drew the line. He didn't do things that were morally unsound to do. He did the things that are culturally neutral that allowed him to look like that group. So that's I think that's a real good guideline, and I don't know that that's so difficult to determine whether something's wrong or just culturally different. That I think is pretty straightforward. However, it does get a little tricky if you're going to, say, a funeral service or maybe a wedding service or something else that has spiritual content that is meant to be part of a community celebration. And then it gets a little trickier, I think. And I think that the best thing to do is just to do the things that you feel comfortable doing as a Christian, participating in a way that the rest of the group is participating, as long as there's nothing theological in your actions. So if you're at a Buddhist service of some sort that requires that the group, in a sense, kneel down and bow down and pay homage to the idol or whatever, the Christian can't do that. Now, I can understand how, or you might be, by the way, in another denomination that's participating in certain prayers that are theologically unsound. You're not allowed to do that either. Now, someone might take umbrage at this and get upset, and they say, well, why aren't you showing respect for my religion by participating in it? This is so crazy to me, because it seems to me that respect goes both ways. And they can expect you to participate in celebration as far as your conscience allows you, and if it doesn't allow you to go further, then you just say, thanks but no thanks. This might mean that if you're not quite sure in a service like that you want to sit in the back so people don't notice that you're not participating with everybody else, it might mean just sitting there and being quiet and being respectful. But there's no obligation for you to go further than that. And for the person who says, well, you offended me by not participating, I think it's fair to say, I didn't mean to offend you, but I think it's better to risk offending you than it is to risk offending God.